What's up, everybody? I'm Ian Gilmore. This is your first team report. Our W League team got back to winning ways on Sunday. Maddie Williams was back in the starting lineup for the first time this season and wasted no time scoring, bagging a brace in the first half to lead us to a 4-0 win over Kings Hammer. Here are her thoughts post-game and thoughts from head coach Paul Dolinsky as well.
It felt great. It's a lot different coming in as a sub. You're not fully warm, things like that, especially when you're my age, me and Sam Dewey. So it felt good to get a start under my belt, but we had a good 11 on the field as well, and I love playing with Sam underneath me. So it felt good to be back, still getting in the groove of things, but it felt good to get back in with the girls.
Where do you feel you're at fitness-wise?
Better than I thought, not where I want to be, but it's hard, balancing that with my full-time job. So some practices I can't make it. Sometimes I'm late, sometimes I miss completely, so it's just finding that balance. But I'd say it's a little better than I thought, but just not quite there yet.
I don't know exactly where you were in your mind, but just with talking with Paulie, didn't think we would see you until later on in the season. After that first game, I know you're itching to get right back on the field. So
yes.
What has it been this last month and a half trying to find the right balance there?
It's been a little hard mentally, honestly. I've started to get a lot busier at work. Like I said, it's really that work-soccer balance for me. And, a lot of these girls don't really have a lot going on this summer. So trying to stay focused and find that balance has been difficult mentally. But physically, I think not playing as many minutes as I was last year has allowed me to come in and play a little cleaner and maybe be a little more rested. So that's been good on Paulie's part.
Even to start this game, if you look at the quality chances we had over the course of the first two games, and Maddie getting the head ball, keeper gets the tip, hits the bar, it's kind of like, oh, here we go again. And then the unorthodox manner in which the first move, at this point, it didn't matter how it went in, but it went in.
I'm curious about those tactical changes you made in the second half. What sort of did you see? Why did you make those? And obviously they were successful.
They switched to a 4-4-2 diamond, and having the extra center back on the bench allowed us to just go to a back three. I wanted to match them in the midfield, so at times in the attack we're playing a 3-4-3 diamond, and defensively you could call it a 5-4-1 or a 3-6-1 depending on where the ball was and whatnot. But again, I just wanted to make the picture for the girls as easy as possible to match them up.
Being clinical in the final third is obviously something that, coming off the last game, you wanted to do here. Were you happy with what you saw in that sense?
I never ask about stats, but when I saw we went 0 for 25 Thursday and we went 4 for 17 today, so I still think we could be a little bit cleaner and sharper, but definitely not. Beggars can't be choosers at this point, so happy with the ones that went in.
On the road this Thursday in Lexington for the last road game of the season for our W League side, before an 8-day break before the last game of the season, the home finale on June 30th. Suspensions and injuries didn't hold the lads back from a good performance Saturday night, but a late goal from Birmingham meant the home side took away all 3 points. But with players on their way back from injury, here's Mark Lowry's thoughts on the week that was and our upcoming action.
I think just realism. I knew going into the game with the roster we had available, the lack of players we had available, it was going to be difficult. It's a good performance. We wanted to go there and just possess the ball as much as possible because it was going to be 90 degrees. We didn't have subs that could come in and really give us fresh legs when we needed it. So it was about just let's dominate the ball, let's try and control the game that way. And see what we can get. We couldn't go there and press like crazy because, like I said, if it became too open, we were going to run out of gas. And because I didn't have the subs to come in when I wanted them to come in, Brian could only do 20. Hoping Eunice could go longer than he did, but he couldn't. Sebastian had to come off. Diego Sanchez ends up coming in, 16, 17-year-old coming in at 1-1 in like the 85th minute. It's great for him, great experience, but it just kind of shows where we're at with the depth of what we had available with the suspensions and the injuries. And then just making sure that we didn't make matters worse with injuries. That's the thing right now. We're so close to having everybody back. And we are going this weekend with a full roster. And I knew that before the Bern game, like we're a few days away from everybody being back. The last thing we need right now is to push Brian Rebellum too hard or throw Velasquez in when he's feeling his groin or, overextend Eunice, and his shoulder goes again. All those things were coming into it because then it's like you never get out of this kind of cycle run of injuries. So we wanted to go there and play well, which we did, and dominate the ball, which we did. Unfortunately, what we had available on the day the amount of capacity the guys had available on the day to them just wasn't enough with the conditions to get through 96, 97 minutes. That's the reality. So just realistic about it. Great performance, really happy with a lot of things. If we play like that with a full roster, we can manage the game better and go win it. There's no doubt in my mind we win that game with a couple of different guys available to us. Not even on the field, just available to come in and freshen things up earlier in the game, you know, when it was 90 degrees and guys were starting to get gassed. No, I think we had a great plan the first time against them. We just became a 10v11 after 5 minutes and then a 10v10 after 6 minutes. It was just like, wasn't a real game. You know, once you change numbers like that, plans, tactics, systems, spacing, everything changes. So they haven't changed in this past 2-3 weeks. We'll be better equipped because of the players we have. So hopefully we can go there and get 3 points because, you know, frankly, we need it, we deserve it, and it'll set us up nicely for the homestand we have coming.
7 p.m. kickoff in Hartford this Saturday night for the boys in blue. I'm Ian Gilmore. See you next time.